Let's talk more about mail-in ballots. We know that they tend to be rejected at somewhat higher rates than ballots that are cast in person. But we have found that in Florida and in Georgia, mail-in ballots from voters of color are being flagged for errors and possible rejection at disproportionately high rates. NBC News Digital reporter Jane Timm joins us now with more on this. Jane, why this disparity?
So we've seen this disparity across the board historically in election after election. I mean, I don't think we can overstate it. American elections work better for white people. Voters of color stand in line longer. They have their questions answered at lower rates than other people. So when we looked into this data, this is what I was looking for. And now NBC News got early data from 11 states and analyzed it with our friends at TargetSmart. And what we found is that Black, Hispanic, and Asian voters all had 2 times the rate of a rejection compared to white voters in their ballots in Georgia and Florida, which are the 2 states that we had that were tracking race in voter registration. Not all states do this, so you can't really analyze it nationally. But in the states where we do see it, we see this broadly. This tracks with 2018, 2016. Mail balloting laws had not been really examined in a big way, because most people, it's, your grandma voted by mail. Your grandma voted by mail absentee, because Florida, Arizona, California uses mail ballots. But nationally, these laws had not been examined until this year when we moved quickly to using mail ballots. So these rejection rates typically come from sort of user error, forgetting to sign the outside of your envelope, or, there's multiple places you have to sign in a ballot. Maybe you signed 2, but not the 3rd one, or there's a stray mark on your ballot that could invalidate it. Many states have the opportunity to cure these ballots, which is fixing them, going to your Board of Elections, signing that envelope, or showing your identification in some way. But that deadline is often today in many states. So if you have worries that you have a ballot that you might not have signed properly, reach out to your election board, make sure it counts. This is the fundamental difference between mail voting and voting in person, is that when you submit your ballot into the machine, you actually see your vote was counted on the screen. And this is the difference. So we don't know how many people actually get turned away at in-person polling, but we do with mail balloting, and we can see a disproportionate effect on voters of color.
Do we have a sense of how prevalent this is, whether it's prevalent enough to actually affect the outcome of some races?
It's too early to know with that. I will say broadly, the data I'm looking at, and I pulled this last night, 62,000 rejected or flagged for rejection ballots in 11 states. That's out of 22 million ballots. So 0.28% is what it came out to. Really, really low. But the number one reason that mail ballots are rejected is because they arrive too late. So the rejections, it's a little too early to know. There's a ballot deadline in certain states. It's a couple days after the election so that you can get your mail from election day. So those numbers will rise, but we don't know until a little later how bad they're going to be. I will say, in Florida, I've been tracking these numbers every couple of days. And in Florida, I actually see the numbers going down from when I checked them a few days ago. So I will say that the cure process is working in Florida. Voters are going and fixing their ballots and taking those numbers down. So, I can point to a couple thousand ballots that got counted in the 2 days since I checked the data before.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.